Welcome to this session. In the recent past, I discussed work I've been doing to eliminate what I believe is a fungus infection and mold infection in the skin. And my hypothesis that it is this infection that is responsible for the long delay time there is between my observation of an event and the actual time my body can respond to it. That sounds very abstract. Let me be a little more concrete. I'm on the tennis court. My opponent is about to serve the ball to me. How quickly can I respond? In the past, the server serves the ball, and it is almost a full second after that that the body can actually move for the first time. I can see it, but I can't react. What I'm noticing very recently is I'm reacting much more quickly. And I'm doing this simultaneously with this work on the fungus and mold. That is consistent, at least, with the hypothesis that the meridians based in the skin are responsible for providing the communications needed by such fast signals. That's good news. Since then, since I did that last report, I have played tennis several times, and it is now becoming apparent that the improvement I reported then looks like it's going to be permanent. I have other good news in addition. Again, it's embarrassing to discuss in issues involving urination, but I'm stuck with it because the problems are there. Typically of elderly men, and I'm 71, the swelling of the prostate has occurred in this body, and it did result in the failure of my kidneys a little over a year ago, or a year and a half, more than that. Recently, there seems to be some improvement. I am finding that my ability to urinate is improving. The only exceptions appear to be 6 to 12 hours after I do a major healing session. Then for a short time I have difficulty again. But in the very, very recent past, it appears that the urination seems to be opening up, which I would say is major improvement. And I believe that my attempts to solve the problem by looking at the blood circulation, especially the vein, which is supposed to carry blood from the gonads. Remember the Israeli doctors that found that the hairs in that vein were gone, and that therefore blood tended to pool and expose the prostate to enormous levels of testosterone. Perhaps what I'm doing is actually helping with that. I believe it has. There's probably one more comment that's worth making now. I've been thinking a lot about the issue of fungus. Is it important? I'm beginning to believe it's quite important. But it's big. physically big. And that leads to the possibility that it is also sophisticated in its ability to interfere with our attempts to understand what's going on. My experience generally is that the smaller the parasite is, the easier it is to recognize its attempt to interfere when I go after it. The viruses attempt to demand and control me and say I'm not allowed to do things. It's pretty obvious when voices like that happen, and my guess that all of us are exposed to such stuff. By now I've gotten so used to them that I just turn them off, but I know what I'm hearing. And you probably do too. The attempts to interfere when I go after this fungus for a while really confused me, because they sound like more sophisticated voices. I can't just eliminate them the way I do a virus or a bacteria. They sound like advice. I'm beginning to realize that I have to be more careful about deciding who or what to listen to. As a result, I've begun to make, I believe, better progress. And if anything, the stability of my better tennis playing is an indication that I'm succeeding. There's one other event that I think is worth bringing up. Soon after I reported to you about the improvement in my tennis at the last session, I experienced a lot of pain just behind the eyes and some at the back of the head in the brain. I'm going to guess that what is causing this was very likely insulin resistance in the mental circuits that are needed to rapidly process and interpret moving images. I don't seem to have the problem anymore. Apparently the body has been able to replace the cells that experience the insulin resistance or repair them. One final comment about the prostate. In people my age and older, cancer is pretty common within the prostate. My body intuitively says that cancer is always, without exception, associated with a foreign toxin. And my body is very encouraging in asking me to go back and review the method I used to eliminate the mercury in my body by asking the toxin what the appropriate frequencies are to help it free itself from the imprisonment it experiences within my body. Again, this is a previous session. Please go ahead and take a look at it if you want more information on that. But if it is true, it suggests that the cancers are not an inevitable result of aging and can be eliminated successfully. Good to talk to you. I'll look for you again.
That's very good, Don. I like that.